Hello everyone. The audio OTT platform, the ACE FM, is humbled by the response that you have given to the Hindi and Bangla version of the audio series AAKASH-GANGA. As promised earlier, we are glad to present the English version of this new audio series, also named Beyond Himalayas, the Roof of the World. Humanity has made great progress in science and technology, but the Earthlings are yet to gain even a tiny amount of knowledge about space and its own galaxy, let alone the entire universe. The planet Earth we call our world is not just the only planet in the Milky Way in which life resides. The people of our world know this, but do not want to admit that countless planets like Earth are present in the galaxy, which we also call AAKASH-GANGA in Hindi and Bangla. Those planets are home to a variety of worlds, where life has most likely flourished in novel and diverse forms, with a lifestyle entirely apart from that of our globe. However, one thing will undoubtedly be shared by all of these diverse worlds: love. Without love, life cannot thrive. Love must be the driving force behind those worlds' prosperity, just as it is the foundation of our existence on Earth. Though many of those worlds are still out of our reach, can you picture the consequences if we were able to make contact with them? Try to put ourselves in that situation and see what may transpire if we manage to travel to any of those alien civilizations. Allow your imagination to let loose and think. What if a denizen of our world managed to reach one of those societies and fell in love with a resident of that world? Yes, we are about to tell you a unique love story of Akash, a creature of a strange world, Shangri-La, who falls in love with Ganga, a girl from Earth who is teleported to Shangri-La in a supernatural and magical way. But this path of their love story was not so easy to trod, because Ganga's Earth and Shangri-La of Akash had nothing in common. What will be the fate of this unprecedented love? Will the love of Akash and Ganga be able to surmount the obstacles and challenges that lay ahead of them on their way to a blissful union? AAKASH-GANGA is one such unique love story, full of romance, action, and adventure that will amaze and surprise you each moment that you spend listening to it. With this promise, I, RJ Akansha, have arrived on your, our, and everyone's favorite audio OTT platform, the ACE FM, to narrate this wonderful love story along with the writer and creator of this audio series, Manoj. So without further ado and wasting your precious time, let's begin this mesmerizing and exciting journey by allowing me narrate to you the first episode of this audio series, AAKASH-GANGA, entitled Beyond Himalayas, the Roof of the World. In the beautiful valleys of the Himalayas, a mountain trekking team was slowly moving forward on the snowy mountain under the leadership of a Nepali Sherpa, an experienced mountain trekking guide. All the members were wearing a proper mountaineering gear. Each one of them was tied to another like a bead on a necklace, and the thread being a thick rope so that no member of the team got separated in the face of adversity. Sherpa was advising the trekking team to be careful at every step so that they could reach today's base camp as quickly as possible. Sherpa tries to motivate them by saying, "When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So stay tough, keep your spirits up and keep moving towards the next base camp." Ganga, a member of that team, gaspingly asked Sherpa whether they could take a break and rest for a while as she was tired. Paying heed to the request, Sherpa first looks at his wristwatch and then at the sky to ascertain the position of the sun, and then asks Ganga, Are you having trouble breathing, Mem Saab? Ganga nods her head and answers in affirmative yes. Sherpa caringly asks Ganga, Mem Saab, did you really get tired so quickly? This is just a small hike. What will you do when I take you for a trek to Kanchenjunga? Another member of the team laughs from behind and mockingly says, Sherpa ji, Ganga is just a baby girl and this is her first expedition. She is weak and fragile, so it will be better to take baby steps, or else they will not be able to reach the base camp right over the other side of the hill. Leave alone realizing the dream of reaching the acme of this mountain trek. Ganga gets irritated by this snide remark and retorts agitatedly by saying, I am not a baby girl. Sherpa ji, there is no need to stop. Let me see how big a stud this Tismar Khan is and how much stamina does he have. Before the argument between the two got any worse, Sherpa intercepted and stopped the two of them by lovingly saying, Do not get angry, Mem Saabji. This Saabji is just pulling your leg. Today the weather is pleasant and we should be able to reach camp without any problems before sunset. There's a steep climb ahead, so let's take a little break now. Your anger and persistence will come in handy later. Then, following Sherpa's advice, the team takes a short break there. After making a face and teasing the member who had taken a dig at her, the jovial Ganga sat down and placed her equipment on the ground. Without pausing to catch her breath, she asked the Sherpa, Okay Sherpa ji, which mountain peak is more difficult to reach, Kanchenjunga or the Mount Everest? Sherpa calmly replies, Mem Saabji, for me, both the peaks are equally difficult to reach. What do you mean by that? Ganga surprisingly inquired. Once more, Sherpa calmly replied, Mem Saabji, I have only seen both of them from a distance. I never had the opportunity to ascend any of the two mountain peaks. To which everyone chuckles. Ganga was a restless soul, and it was a little hard to keep her from asking endless questions. Unsatisfied with the response given to her by Sherpa, she goes on. But you must have heard about this aspect from your seniors, the ones who have scaled those two peaks. Mem Saabji, this is the sacred Himalayan mountains, a symbol of our civilization and culture. Sherpa remarks as he turns to face to see the various peaks around them and tells her, For all of us, all these peaks hold the same significance. Each one of them is respected by us as God. Ganga was distraught by this simple, unexciting and stoic response of the Sherpa. But she was the one who was not going to remain silent. On hearing this, she again asked Sherpa a question. But I have heard that God resides on peak of Mount Kailasha. Yes, it resides there too. And I am convinced that God is omnipresent and is residing everywhere in the universe. Sherpa patiently replies to her. But Ganga does not remain silent even after hearing this and asks Sherpa, Then why haven't humans not set their foot on the head of Mount Kailasha yet and raised their flag on its peak just to have darshan of God? Am I not right? I know that no one has ever been on the acme of Mount Kailasha. Mem Saabji, it is a matter of great fortune that humans can even touch the feet of God. His head is not the place for the humans to step on, replies Sherpa. Keeping his composure, he further tells Ganga, Mem Saabji, it's wrong for you to even consider such an idea. The talkative Ganga, being herself, was not going to stop her barrage of questions. She had taken this break only to talk, not to rest. Ganga was an 18-year-old who just completed her higher secondary exams and was now on her break. She again poked Sherpa with another query. And what if that thought crossed one's mind? One member of the team joked, "If such a thought occurs to a feather-brained human being, then the animal human yeti takes them away with him to his cave and eats her." Everyone burst out laughing except for Sherpa. He appears to be slightly disturbed by this meaningless conversation and orders the members, "Team, break over! Now everyone get ready for the next hike so that we can reach the base camp before nightfall." Upon hearing his command, the team immediately got up and started to walk towards their next base camp. As Ganga saw them walk on, she realized that she unintentionally asked Sherpa something which had definitely bothered him, and so she decided to keep her mouth shut in the future. A few moments later, suddenly the sky was filled with dark clouds. The winds became stronger and colder, and the snow blowing with it was making it harder to see through the blizzard. Sherpa decided to move on quicker, as he knew this sudden change in weather looked ominous and meant something was really wrong. He started to walk faster when suddenly he accidentally stepped on a crevice in the mountain covered by snow. He tripped over the ledge and fell into that bottomless hole. Since their harness were connected, he unfortunately pulled Ganga down with him, as she was tied next to him, and they both started hanging over the ledge connected to the harness. The entire team rushes to pick them up, but due to the severity of the weather, all of their efforts go in vain. The weight of the two was very difficult for them to lift, and adding woe to their misery, Varun, another member of the team, tripped on the ice and fell down the ledge along with Ganga and Sherpa. Sherpa quickly realized that the other members were not strong enough to handle the weight of 3 of them. And due to their combined weights, he knew the rest of the team would soon fall down the ledge too. So with a heavy heart, he quickly pulled out a jackknife from his pocket, and before anyone could realize what he was doing, he cut the rope and started to fall in the dark, pitiless hole. Ganga is aghast to see the Sherpa falling down in the dark dungeon, and her heart skips a beat. Ganga begins to feel lightheaded as she realizes what happened. The rest of the team continued to pull the rope to rescue Ganga and Varun. But no matter what they did, they either slipped or fell. Soon Ganga realized what had to be done. Sherpa was an exemplary leader and had taught her what was needed to be done in a situation like this to save the other members of the team. Sherpa, as a leader of the team, just made it clearer for her that she too would have to sacrifice her life for the greater cause of saving the other teammates. As she begins to follow in his footsteps and is just about to cut her rope, a bright light from the bottom of the pit started to rush up, and in the blink of an eye, it carries her to the sky, and along with her, the blinding light causes the rest of the team to be pushed up with its aura, causing them to almost float in the air. Before Ganga could react, the light instantly moved her higher in the sky beyond the mountain peaks of the mighty Himalaya, considered as the roof of the world. And then suddenly, in the blink of an eye, she realized where she was heading to. She was heading towards the sky, and then towards the boundless space. She thought maybe this was her end, and so she closed her eyes yet again. She kept on going higher and higher as her heartbeat rose. She felt like she was getting launched in space, yet the feeling did not hurt. She glanced at the light, but just as she was about to see who or what it was, she fainted. And the rest she couldn't have remembered. But I am quite certain that you will definitely remember this episode. We hope that by presenting the first episode of the series in English, we have been able to entertain a wider audience by crossing the language barrier. So, see you soon! And please hold on to your seats as we both are going to bring to you the second episode of the audio series. By we, I mean I, RJ Akansha, and the writer and creator of the series, Manoj. Right here on your favorite audio OTT platform, the ACE FM.